There was a small technical issue right now with the mic, so yeah. Okay, let us just start from the beginning. See, today we are going to see if and ifs formula. Okay, so um, in if formula, let us just see first what is an if formula. Okay, when we write any formula in Excel, what do? We start it with an equal to, and we say is equal to if, and then we put a bracket here, opening bracket, and then what we do is we give the conditions that is required for the formula to run. Correct. So in this particular if formula, what we have here is a logical test. A logical test is nothing but a comparison that will perform, and then based on that particular logical test and the comparison, whether if it is true what I want to do, if it is false what I want to do. Okay, as simple as that. This is what the basic if formula. Okay, in this particular case, if you see here, let us just see what is how to write an if formula to actually find out whether that particular person is a minor or a major or an adult. Either he's a minor or he's an adult. Okay. So I'll just start typing the formula with is equal to, and if I'll press tab here to put the brackets and make everything proper here for the formula to be ready to be written. Now here my logical test, since I have the age here itself in this particular cell, what I'll do is I'll select this particular cell. If I'll say if age is less than 18, okay. So this is how a logical test is written. That is, a comparison is done. If age is less than 18, then what I'll do, I'll just say he is a minor. He is a minor. He is a minor. Else he is an adult. So this is how a basic if formula is written for an age comparison, saying that how to know whether he's a minor or adult based on his age. We just put an if condition here. When age is less than 10, he is a minor, else he is an adult. Okay. Vice versa can also be done. Now if I press enter, you can see he is an adult, a message is being shown. And even if I change the age to 17, you can see he is a minor is being changed to here. In the same way, what I'll do is I'll change, I'll write an if formula to actually determine whether they are male, female, or other gender. Okay, based on whatever MF and whatever letters they have given here for their gender, we have to find out whether they are male, female, or other gender. Okay. Now, what I'll say is if logical test here, what is my logical test? If gender is equal to M, what I'll say, he is a male. Now, in else condition, if the value is false, I cannot go and directly put she's a female, because if someone puts F here, there will be female. Yes, if there are other gender, there are possibilities of other gender also. There are many other possibilities. So what I will do is I'll write one more if inside the if. This is actually called as nested if. And in this particular if, again I'll give logical test saying that if this is equal to F, then she is a female. Else, now I can say they are other gender. Now I'll close the bracket for both the ifs and I'll press enter now. Now if you see, now it is saying he is a male. If I change it to F, she is a female. If I change it to any other letter, other gender. Okay. Obviously, these kind of errors can happen in Excel, so that's why I have properly given a nested F to properly determine their gender. Okay. Now you saw it was a little bit complex to actually write the if here. Okay, it was a little bit complex to actually write a nested if here. So what we have is we have an advanced formula in the latest versions of Excel, which is if s formula. Instead of giving nested if writing again, writing if again and again, what we can do is we can use an if s formula to directly write whatever we need, how many ever conditions we need. Okay, so is equal to if s logical test. Now, what is my logical test? This gender is my logical test. If this is equal to M, then male, else. Now the second condition is what? If this is equal to F, then female. Okay, this should be in double quotes. Now for the other gender, I want a logical test. See, in FS we have to give a logical test for this thing. So anything that is other than these two things should be other gender, correct? So what I'll do is I'll not give a condition for that, and I close the CFS and I say now M and F will be properly shown. Okay, this is how we write an if formula and if else formula in Excel. And these two are very, very important and useful formulas for conditionally evaluating certain situations and giving certain outputs or executing certain things. Okay. Now, let us just go with other formula. The next formula that we are going to see is subtotal formula. And a subtotal formula, why do we use? See, generally, okay, let's show you an example here. I am using a very, very basic sum formula. Okay? See, I am typing a sum formula here. I am selecting that I want to sum from this particular range to this particular range. Okay? Now, here the total sum of this particular range to this particular range is 30,450. Now, when I'm filtering something, for example, I'm a product manager and I just want to filter out a product A and see what is the total sales of that particular product. Now, I'm seeing here this particular data, but the sum here, is it the sum for this thing? No, because this is the sum for the whole list that I had selected. So this is a static sum that will get fixed to that particular range, even if that range is hidden. See, right now I have filtered it out and all the other ranges are hidden here. Even though then this particular sum is showing the total for the whole list, correct? But the total for this particular list 5,750. So if I want to filter, if I want to do calculations based on the filter or the visible cells, what I need to do is I need to use a subtotal formula. These formulas are very useful for auditors and many other professionals who analyze data. So here when am writing a subtotal formula, it is asking me what kind of calculation I want to do. So I'll just say 9 because 9 is the number assigned to sum. So I'll just say 9 here. I'll put a comma. Now my reference here. Okay, before writing the subtotal formula, what we need to do is we need to remove filter so that I can apply it on the whole range. Okay, I'll say subtotal. Yeah, subtotal 9 for sum. Now in this particular reference, I'll select the whole range here. Now if you see, subtotal formula is also showing me the same total, but when I filter something, what will happen? Subtotal formula will automatically adjust to the visible range on the screen. Whatever is hidden will not be calculated, only the visible range will be calculated. So no matter what I filter out, even if I filter out east and west separately also, based on that, you can see automatically the values are changing in the subtotal formula. Okay, this is how a subtotal formula calculates only a visible range that is visible on the screen. Okay, now let us just go to one more formula today that we are going to learn. We are going to learn SUMIF and SUMIFS formula, which is very, very important formulas and they ask in interviews also. So SUMIF and SUMIF formulas, see, see, right now we know that some formula does what? Some formula actually sums the whole list of range, correct? But SUMIF formula sums based on certain conditions. Okay, so if suppose I want, we have certain product categories here. So what I'll do is I create a unique list of product categories by removing the duplicates here. If you remember, in the data cleaning session, we learned how to remove the duplicates. I have removed the duplicates here for the product category and I have unique categories here. Now for each and every category, what I want to know is, I want to know what is the sale amount for each and every category in total. Okay. So here what I'll do is I'll use a SUMIF form is equal to SUMIF. Now it is asking me for a range. This particular range is nothing but the criteria. So I'll select the product category range. And where is the criteria available to me? My criteria is available to me here itself, because if here the electronics is there, I want to sum only electronics from this particular list, correct? Now what I'll do is I'll select the sum range. Based on this criteria, which range should be summed or calculated? That is, it should be added up. So my sales amount has to be added up. So I'm selecting that particular range now. I'm pressing enter here. Now you can see product category wise, sum is being shown on the screen. Okay. Now in same way, if suppose I want to do multiple conditions, okay. See, right now I use just one condition, so I use SUMIF formula. Now in the next case, what I want to do is I want to use multiple conditions. For example, we can say that I want to sum based on the product category also, the product name also. So I'll create a unique list of product name. I'll create a unique list of product name by transposing it here, and I'll remove the duplicates. Okay, all the all the product names are already unique. So let us just use something else as an example here. Clear out. Yes. So what we can use actually is for multiple criterias, we can actually use, yeah. So what we can do is we can actually category wise, each and every product is unique, correct? So laptop is there in electronics two times. So what we can do is we can actually transpose this range here, transpose it here. Now, let's just create a unique list of product names here. Unique list of product names in this particular range until and I'll remove the duplicates from the current selection. Okay. So only to do one unique value is removed. Now, what I want to do here is I want to do the SUMIF based on two categories here. That's first thing is and two criteria here. First is product category, and in that product category, how many laptops, like what's the amount of laptops that has been sold. So what I do is I writing SUMIFS here. SUMIFS formula helps me do multiple conditions. I like apply multiple criterias here. So when I'm using the SUMIFS formula, the first criteria itself is it's asking me for a sum range, correct? So I am just selecting the sum range as sale amount. Now next is the criteria range. My criteria range is what? My first criteria range is product category, and my first criteria is above here. Okay. And the next, and also when I'm doing this, what I have to do, I have to log the J11 row here. Now the next criteria is what? I'll actually have to log the 11th row, and my next criteria is product name, and my next criteria is product name here. Okay, and because I need to drag it here, what I do is I lock it. I'll log the column here so that I don't want the column to change. Now I have put a sum if based on the product category and the uh, product name. So I'll press enter here. Now if I drag the formula to the down, you can see automatically the product category wise total is being shown. And also if you see here, now in the laptop, you can see in electronics and in laptop, there is a sale of 34 lakh, I mean 3 lakh 40,000. And in the same way, we have sale of different item here. You can see product category wise and product wise. Okay. So this is how we actually do sum and sumness formulas. These are very useful formulas. These are very useful aggregating formulas based on the conditions. Okay, we provide conditions for SUMIF and SUMIFS formulas, where based on certain conditions the aggregation is done. Over and above this, if anyone has any doubt, you can always ask me in live chat. I'll always directly reply to you, or I can explain it to you again also. Does anyone have any doubt here? Okay. If you guys don't have any doubts, what we can do is, um, we can actually end the session today and we'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye. See you tomorrow.